Aranya,
Ma'am,
kindly start the program as per agenda.
The live link is not working.
Suddenly, you're not audible, ma.
stillness is not about focusing on nothingness. It is about creating. Ma'am,
The live link on YouTube is not working.
Deepak, kindly send sir the live link.
ma'am,
Ma'am,
I'm
it
audible.
takes 3 minutes
Ma'am?
delay, ma'am. Live means it.
Okay.
I'm audible.
Sir, actually here it has started. Maybe after a small delay you will get it, probably.
Ma'am, what is the problem, ma'am? What happened?
About creating an emotional clearing to allow ourselves to think, dream, and question. Quoted by Bruni Brown. On behalf of Tribally Department, in association with Office of International Affairs, is organizing an international webinar on the Golden Triangle Sustainable Development Model. Now, I call upon Dr. A. Nalini, Additional HOD, Tribally Department, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Saranya. A very good morning to one and all present here. Happiness does not come from doing easy work, but from the afterglow of satisfaction that comes after the achievement of a difficult task that demanded our best. Today, we all are happy and we have miles to go before we sleep. About the Department of Tripoli was started in the year 1993, offering a BE program in Electrical and Electronics Engineering approved by AICTE, accredited by NBA in the year 2002, and elevated to the status of deemed university in 2003. We are indeed proud to be accredited by NAC in 2017 with A grade scoring 3.31 against 4. At this juncture, I would like to bring to wide light that the Tripoli department is accredited by NBA up to 2021. We are an ISO certified department for procedural functioning. The department has a clear vision to render services continuously to meet the requirement of the changing world in electrical engineering industry by educating the students for the global competition in line with the institution's mission. The department is blessed with a team of smart working faculty, committed students, and 12 state-of-art laboratories. The curriculum and syllabi is the one of the best and much appreciated by many of the industry experts, which covers subjects like smart grid technology, microgrid in modern distribution system, grid modernization, IoT applied to electrical engineering, electrical storage technology, green building technology, to name a few. The department has a decent publication profile with a H index of 21 with citations of 9,931. A very recent achievement of the Tripoli department was conducting a certified course on industrial electronics and instrumentation, which is an ITEC training program sponsored by Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. There were 8 international participants from Kenya, Vietnam, and Palestine. The department has rendered consultancy service to the public up to a total of 18 lakhs so far. Not only we have conducted STTP for foreigners, our students have attended the same in the following university abroad, sponsored by the management. To name a few, Taipei Medical University, Sheffield Hallam University, National Taiwan University, Yuanzi University, Taiwan, etc. The department has a student association, park club, and the student community is capable of organizing various hefty events such as Nexus, Corsage, etc. in a professional manner. We also have the IEEE MGR Students Chapter, through which various technical scale-ups have been achieved. Through these associations, a corporate social responsibility program on energy awareness relay has been initiated, under which the general public are educated on using energy in a proper manner and save as much as possible. So far, 20 awareness programs were conducted and around 6,000 people have been reached, and the relay continues. Apart from this, ISR on water saving and greening the planet are initiated through the Park Lab, which is by the students, for the students, and of the students. Apart from this, our students are a vibrant part in the ESL, Newgen IEDC, MSME, etc. Through Newgen IEDC, 3 students' projects are incubated, and one has received the startup nidhi from BST to a range of 10 lakhs. Adding a feather to the crown, under DDU GKY scheme, the university has been sanctioned with an amount of 8.83 crores for facilitating the development of rural youth in Tamil Nadu state. This project was initiated and achieved by a head of the department, Dr. Sheeba Percis. In total, the AAA department is one of the best in the Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, and also has global recognition through our excellent alumni who are placed across the world in reputed MNCs and organizations like Virginia Tech, ABB, Siemens, Gamesa, State Electricity Board, to name a few. With this brief introduction, on behalf of the management, international office, staff, and students of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, I extend a very grateful welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Hossein Nezakati, Associate Professor, Sunway University Business School, who accepted our invitation to deliver the webinar in this pandemic situation. I welcome you, sir. I'm very happy to welcome our beloved Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, our Joint Registrar, Dr. Siddharth sir, and our executors, my dear faculty friends and students, to this international webinar on the topic, the Golden Triangle of Sustainable Development Model. Welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I need to thank Professor Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, ma'am, Vice Chancellor, for giving us wonderful inaugural address. Now I would like to invite Dr. Cyril Raj, Joint Registrar, to give special address.
With the sincere thanks to our Founder Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir, and then our beloved President sir, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, for providing such a wonderful platform for all of us to become a useful professional of this particular country through our very formal education system. Again, let me thank the Department of EEE for arranging such a wonderful topic and then identifying the very best resource person, Dr. Hossein, for this particular program also. So I'd like to thank again, sir, for accepting our invite. Dear students, actually, all of us, we should aware about how we are polluting the Mother Earth. So, if you see the 1950, the pre-industrialization, we were polluting our atmosphere with around 6 billion tons of CO2 during those times. Then by the year 1990, it was around 36 billion tons every year. So now, right now, it is at the rate of 48 billion tons every year. So far, our consumption, that is the energy, production, nuclear, all these are based upon the fossil fuel. Clear? So 80% of our energy is derived only from burning the fossil fuel. So that's why actually we are emitting these sort of the billions of tons of CO2 on the Mother Earth atmosphere. Clear. So this is going to take us to a very, very dangerous situation where right now a lot of research or explorations are happening there to explore the Mars. So when the scientists are telling that Mars was millions of years before, it was inhabitable planet in our solar system, but something went wrong. Clear in that particular planet. If we start exploiting the mother nature with with the same sort of nuclear pollution nuclear, so definitely, so within another few hundred centuries nuclear, this beautiful earth nuclear may not become habitable for for human being, for life at all. So this is the way that actually we are taking. Again, in many meetings also, I have said, when you waste 1 unit of electricity, mind it, we are spending around 300 liters of pure water to generate that particular 1 unit of electricity. So this is the way actually, we are totally exploiting the mother nature. Dear students, I think right now the global, the greenhouse effects and then the global temperature increase. So all these things are going to have a profound effect or continuous effect on all of us also. Slowly, the sea water is trying to become acidic also. When it becomes acidic, so it will become livable to all the sea based the living things also. So definitely it has got a lot of consequences. So at this point of time, so we need to really work on so how to bring the non-conventional energy systems here, that to how to exploit from the natures. Already we are aware from the air, from the wind, from the wind as well as from the solar, and then from the tide. Clear. So a lot of clear potentials are there for generating energy. So the initiative, like some of the initiative taken by the Western countries, especially Scandinavian countries, where they started stopping electricity distribution through centralized network systems also. So individuals, they have to derive their own energy from mother, non-polluting sources. So this way, definitely, we need a lot of developments and then the research in this particular domain, so that nuclear, how to use the non-conventional energy more, so that 80% has to come down to 8% in a couple of years. So with this, I hope this particular forum will give students to focus on these upcoming domain of non-conventional energy, so that nuclear, we have to leave this mother earth to our generation nuclear livable for at least for another couple of thousands of years. So with this, I thank the Department of Tribly for arranging such a wonderful topic by a very renowned person in this particular domain. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Ms. Rengammal Sankari to introduce speaker of today's event.
Thank you, Saranya. Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Hossein Nezakati. He is an associate professor from Sunway University School of Business, He is a master in international marketing and he has completed his PhD in marketing management from Islamic Assad University. He did his MS degree in business administration from the same institute. He has vast experience in strategic management, international business management, market relationship, and product innovation and commercialization. He has 30 years of experience in teaching and R&D, especially in sales and marketing management. He has also served as associate professor in various educational institutions such as Islamic Assad University, Malaysia University of Science and Technology, Maha University, Putra University School. He was conferred with numerous titles and international recognition from many universities across the world. Currently, he is the representative of Scientific Advisory Board of DCG Lab, Board of Directors in Malaysian Association of Business and Management Scholars, and also a fellow member of Global Strategic Management Incorporation from Michigan, USA, and also the member of IIC University and Hayes Writers Association of Malaysia as well. Moreover, he has published lot of international papers. As a lead researcher, he has attended more national and international conferences. Once again, I am welcoming you, sir.
All right. And also thank you for the welcoming notes from the Vice Chancellor and also for the Deputy. Thank you for all regarding inviting me. It's my honor to join for this session. And hopefully we can have some time to deal about the very important issues that nowadays very popular. And honestly speaking, even for today, after this session, I will engage with two other sessions exactly related to the SDG. It's very amazing. Even for one day, three events. One of them I'm a speaker, one the other I'm the judge, and one the other I'm as the member of the committee invited. That's very amazing. Therefore, I feel that this topic and this approach could be helpful for all of us for the future. And thank you for all of you that joining. And unfortunately for the online session with the YouTube link, as I see, unfortunately is not working well and a lot of delay. And I receive a lot of messages from the links that I provided and all of them talking about that, how they cannot join. Anyway, after that, hopefully the recorded session can be shared and all the others also can take advantage for this opportunity that we are discussing together. And then I just only finish, I try to finish my speech a little as soon as possible, shorter. And after that, we have this opportunity for any kind of the Q&A and also for the feedback, for the collaborating together. It's not the one-way speech through the webinar. It will be as a good opportunity. And also I was hope that through the online YouTube, we can have the questions and the connections out of the university and out of the Google Meet that we have. But okay, no problem. It's quite normal. And this is one of the points that I want to discuss about it for my speech. Therefore, can I start and can I share my screen? Then we can proceed. Almost more than 30 minutes, we are late. Should I do that? From the coordinator, I should get the confirmation.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then I just only share my entire screen and you can see my screen as well. presentation. Again, as you already know, thank you for the nice welcoming speech and introducing me, that joining for this webinar. Actually, is related to the combination, my experiences and my knowledge, combination of the industry and the university. That is one of the major points that I'm so very happy of that, about the competencies that I could gain, the combinations between the industry point of view, because I was the general manager and working for the industry, and almost about 30 years for the academic activities. In this case, that brings the philosophy of the bullet triangle for myself, and later on we will discuss about it a little bit. Due to the working that you can see that some of the international and top-ranking university, I have this privilege to join with them. All right, very fast. What we should cover for today, as you know that always we should talk a little bit about the history and about the background for the topic and the concept that we go through it. Therefore, we will see what was the same scenario that happened in the world. And after that, a little bit talk about the principles and the criteria of the sustainable development for running any kind of the concepts and the theories or findings. We need the model. Therefore, I talk a little bit about the sustainable supply chain management model and how it is related to the SDG. The practices and classifications that already happen in the world, just very few of them to get the idea. After that, we reach to the golden triangle. I share my idea, my philosophy, and then approaching for the SDG golden triangle, and finally talking very fast about the sustainable development model. Honestly speaking, this topic and this approach, it should be almost about for the 2 or 3 days conferences. And I deal about all these materials due to the 2 or 3 days full conference. But very shortly, I just only squeeze everything, try to less than 45 minutes, something like that. All right, regarding to the same scenario, as I mentioned for the introduction, is something like that as the GATT and WTO. I do sure all of you knows about the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, GATT, and what has happened almost about the more than 70 years ago, 60 years ago. And due to the several rounds and several activities that they have it, most of the countries to find to the regulate some activities regarding to the international and global business. And finally, after the final round in 1995 or go, then they reach and they change it from the GATT to the WTO. The main concern of changing and the concept for the GATT is just only as the agreement. You see that, general agreement on tariff and trades. There's no any commitment. There's no any obligation for the participants to follow the rules and the regulations. But after that, almost about 1995, they changed the agreement to some kind of the convention. And all of them goes through the some global organization. And everybody has to follow the rules. It brings the commitment for activities. This is the thing that happened and is quite normal and quite obvious. Something like this is happened for the SDG. The background of the SDG goes back almost about before 2000, and is started just only for the some kind of the understanding and the goals, just only for the development, for the third millennium. But it should be settled down for the 15 years by the 2015. And from that time, we reach and we change and we transfer to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. As a matter of fact, we should know that all these things comes from the MDG previous It's just only as the very limited things, almost about 9 categories, right? But after that, it comes to the 17 disciplines, 17 goals. Not only as the improvement and get all the informations and all the aspects gathered together with the different criteria, but also brings a little bit more commitment to proceed. All right? Regarding to the general principles, all the countries, they have their own, some of the practices. For the Malaysia that I'm living over here more than 12 years, we had this opportunity to practice and develop some kind of the principles and the criteria for the sustainable development, something like the ISO. And that project already run between the universities that I was worked with them previously, University Putra Malaysia, and also for the SRIN in Malaysia, the Standard and Industrial Research Institute of Malaysia. This institute has the responsibility to prepare, to generate, to maintain, to check all the standards related to the industry. By this reason, that source is the best source to create the models and create the criteria for implementing and bring some kind of the rules and regulations for the country, something like the ISO, as I mentioned that. Nowadays, everybody knows that. All of the companies, they have to follow those rules. And if they don't, and they don't have that certificate, they don't have any place in the market. This is the point that finally, after that, we have a lot of publications. One of them as reaching to the one book, and also I had this opportunity to be as one of the editor for that book, and we gather a lot of articles, more or less related to each other and approaching for that one regarding the sustainable supply chain. And you know that due to the activities that we have, supply chain, of course, as the main part and the main category. That was the model. As I told you, I tried to just only go through the headlines, not go through the detail. This model, as the Sustainable Supply Chain Management, SSCM, I'm so very happy and I'm proud of that. This model was launched by myself and my research partner, and actually we reached to this model and we proposed it to the committee. Of course, I was one of the committee members, but we proposed it to the committee and the Senate for that one. And finally, I'm proud of that. This model was accepted. And due to this model, we plan to create all the criteria and the disciplines. As you can see that, also it is consists of the 3 main parts: environment, society, and the economy. And by overlapping for each of them together, we are reaching to some points of the overlapping each other. And when we reach to all these 3 particular approaches together, in the center, we reach to the main concept and the main core as the sustainable supply chain management. It could not be happen very easily. It's more than 2 years officially and 5 years unofficially. We run a lot of things, for running and creating the model, how many publications that you should discover, how many the research activities. Definitely it combines of the mixed method, qualitative and quantitative. Because some of the students join with us is very good that we deal about these matters a little bit. As the best approach, we have the mixed method, and you know that, the truncal one. And to the qualitative approach, we get the ideas, the comprehensive things. And after that, due to the quantitative approach, we bring the data and the analysis to make it qualified, right? Of course, it cannot be happen very easily. We should consider a lot of points and a lot of aspects from the NGOs, from the government point of view, from the operation, and financial matters, human resource, and totally for the stakeholders, not only as stockholders. You know the differentiations between the stockholder and the stakeholder. In this case, we approach about that. All these things lead to that model that I just only show you after more than 2 years of research. You saw that we have the two categories and they are overlapping each other. Each of the categories, for example, for the social categories, we have a lot of criteria to consider, right? And even for the economy also, we have the other ones. But when they are combined together or they overlap together, some of the mutual interests we can find. It means that all of these criteria belongs to the social as well and belongs to the economic approach as well. I don't want to go through the detail. That was the reason I said that this takes a lot of time. Just only get the idea. Also, you can create some kind of this model, very simple and easy, but you should find it. We had it almost about 15 years or 20 years ago in Dubai for the if I'm not mistaken, human resource development, personal human resource development, empowerment, and also for the organizational citizenship behavior. We launched that model 2009, if I'm not mistaken, in Dubai. And also we follow about this model, not this model, this approach. In this case, it's not only related to this model. For any kind of the approach, it's just only as a platform, then you can follow about that. Therefore, as you can see that for the socio-economic, all of these criteria should be implemented and should be considered. All right? If we want to summarize and reach to the main approach, there will be just only two. Always I try to simplify the points. Social welfare, labor rights, and the workplace condition. As you can see that all these things comes by for the two different approaches that we have. For the next one, as the environment and the economy, again, we have the common interests in two different approaches we have, and we can just only mention it as the one main criteria, green investment. For the third one, as the environment and the social aspects, these are the common. Of course, I had, and specifically regarding to this matter, I published. These are two major publications that we have regarding to that one to cover. For all of them we had, but these are so very cited for fun. And then we reach to the three major parts. Three major parts with the criteria that we have it. What are those? As the social health and the safety, labor workplace challenges, and the green design. Finally, we reach to the 7 main principles as the combination for all these three materials, right? And through the overlapping. The combination and overlapping for the all parameters related to the supply chain management, we just only have 3 main principles. But with these 7 principles, we have 30 criteria and 100 indicators. In this case, when we want to implement, we should go through the 100 indicators to check. But slowly we go deeply, not from the beginning. Regarding to this one, and regarding to the SDG, a lot of places have their own approaches. We can see that. Very simple, even by the United Nations, we can find some of the points that is very essential and very helpful. You can see that. The United Nations Economic Commission for the Europe, right? This one also categorized for the 3 major parts with the different layers and try to put the SDG in the different ways to make it a little bit simplification. Okay? How about the other one? The other approach, I select the Indonesia. I had the concern about that one. Why I select the Indonesia? You know about the perspectives of the Indonesia for the Southeast. And that was the reason. If you go through the detail of that and the classification for the SDG, you will find that they classified into four main categories: as the social pillar, as the economic, environmental, and the law and the governance. It's all right, no problem. As much as that you can classify, because as the first glance, 17 goals or 17 approaches, maybe it is not very simple and easy. Therefore, when we try to make it simple, all the countries, all the governmental institutions or NGOs try to do something like that. And that was the reason. Even you can find it in a lot of places, even in the Google. If you just only search it, you can find a lot of approaches for the classification. No any problem. It depends on the goal. It depends on the desire, how we are classifying all these 17 criteria for implementation. The seven principles, as I mentioned to you, regarding to the supply chain management, is exactly same like as the approach that we have it for the other concept. Because I'm living in Malaysia and I just only deal with them and engage about some of the activities, I bring the example before it brings and just only sharing, and you get some side about the Malaysian approach. You can see that again, even for the first Malaysian plan as the development dimensions, it consists of as the economy, environmental, and society again, and country fear related to the policies and the governance, of course, that combine all of them together. You can see that even for the Malaysia, try to meet as much as possible as the overlapping and meet the considerations of the SDG. That was the reason I was invited for some activities invited by the Majlis for the Senate for Malaysia. They invited for more than 200 industry parties, and also I had the very nice chance to deliver a little bit of speech over there and share my ideas. And of course, for the SDG, you know that everything, if you can bring the ideas for the United Nations as the general aspect, these collaborations help you for a lot of activities and a lot of collaboration for the future. Finally, for the India, I just only finish it with the India as the practices, and you can see that. In India, regarding to the very vasting and different and very huge numbers of the NGOs, you have a lot of activities related to the SDG. And I know that, and everybody knows through it. And also you name it as the India and the Sustainable Development Goals, the way forward. It happens also, I engage some more or less with some of those activities. But you can see that it is as the concept for the government to engage all the parties and bring it and joining together, okay? If you click on that, you can find. That was the part related to the Sustainable Development Goals. Then I want to share my ideas about the Golden Triangles. What are those? And what is the philosophy behind the Golden Triangle and why I launched that philosophy? From the beginning, very simplified that one. I can start and say that triangles is the simplest shape and the form in the world. Because, for example, as a dot, like a pen, is it stable? Definitely not, and it will drop. If you put it into two, also it will drop as a lateral one. But the triangle is the simplest stable shape in the world. But if we just only array the infinite triangles from one core point, I will show later on the slide. Therefore, it becomes as the circle. Therefore, circle is combination of the infinite triangles array around one core point. And everybody knows the most stable shape in the world is circle. The most stable shape is circle. By this reason, the most stable form in the world consists of the infinite simplest stable form in the world. If we consider this concept, we can generalize it to the other concepts as well. We can say that the most complex points, as the circle one, consist of the infinite simple points as the triangles. And if we can create, and if we can find those simplifications, then we can solve the complex points very simple. This is the point. Single golden triangle or single triangle. The simplest shape. If we array from the core point, you consider, for example, it becomes as the infinite triangles. Finally, we reach to the circle. But that circle consists of the first triangle and is arrays infinite times. Finally, we reach to the golden triangles. And these golden triangles brings the whole shape for ourselves. That was the reason I try to simplify SDG approach and SDG model. Because as far as you can see that there's a lot of the activities, but with a different concept, with a different approaches. All right? If you want to ask, okay, the triangle or golden triangle, where we can apply that, when we can apply that, and for what we should apply it, we can do it for everywhere, any places. We can do it anytime. We can create it by ourselves. Till now, I created more than 1,400, I repeat again, more than 1,400 golden triangles. Everything as the simplest one. For this concept, maybe we just only ask, all right, with these golden triangles, what are the core concepts and what is the benefit of that one? The benefit is facilitation. With the triangles, golden triangles, we facilitate for understanding and implementation. We harmonizing all the activities together, very simple. Simplification. Therefore, we try to make everything facilitate, harmonize, and simplify. That's all. In this regard, if you go to the SDG goals, you can see that we can classify in the three major parts. The first part as the ego, or as the human part. We have as the 5 categories and the 5 approaches or 5 goals that dealing with the human bodies, dealing with the person, people. All right? If we go for the second part, we can see that most of the 5 categories of 17 goals deal with the environment, geo or geography or geographical approach. And the third one has the economy part, the 6. All of these 16 categories combine together to reach to the final one, the 17 goal, partnership. Partnership link all these materials together. Partnership and partnership for the goals, partnership for combining will lead us to just only go through the 3 major parts. Focusing about 3 major parts. That's all. Human being as the ego, do you see that? Again, as the 3 parts. The other golden triangle. Ego, geo, and echo. 5, 5, 6 plus 1. Therefore, for the economic approach, for example, just only we are focusing about 6 goals. For the human part, we just only focus about 5 different approaches. And for the geography or as the environmental approach, we have 5 more. It's much more understandable, I think. And they're combining together. Maybe after 2030, as the goal for the first step as the SDG, definitely we will have some kind of the modifications for simplify. No matter, no problem. Still, we have time. Minimum 9 years is not the short time. 9 years we have time to go. And all the countries, all the societies that they are dealing with the SDG, they deal about that. For applying to reach to those 3 parts, 3 major parties they are engaging. What are those? Other golden triangles. Government, parliament, and NGO. Therefore, they can reach to the whole activities. Governmental point of view, governmental activities, legislative parties for the parliament, and then for the NGOs. You know what one of the reasons that I accept for the nice invitation from the India, of course, 2 weeks later, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 weeks later, also I have the other speech for the India, is that because India is the highest number NGOs activities all over the world. Congratulations. India as the benchmark for the NGO activities. That was the reason I have the other respect for the India. And this is the point. Again, as the simplification, when we want to say that which parties that is engaging, we have the 3 parties: government, NGO, and parliament. You know the role of the NGOs. If government wants to do everything or anything, they should have the confirmation from the parliament, the legislative parties. They launch the rules. But for the implementation, nobody can access without the support and the help for the NGOs parties in the country. And NGO is the linkage between government and parliament. This is the main role of the NGOs. It has happened for the Malaysia. Just only in 2019, as the SDG Summit in Malaysia, it is already launched over there. Not officially, but it was talking about that somehow. And also I just only have something. Anyway, in this case, this is the very normal, simple practice. All right? That is already done. Then, after the sustainable development goals, after the parties, after identifying about the way for the implementations, then what is the model? You know, when you have something as the theory, you need some tools. Theories without tools cannot be implemented. Even for the findings and the notions and the goals, without the models, the strategies without the enablers, without the models cannot be implemented. Therefore, the model help to implement and make it the practice for the industrial part and bring the notion into action. Walk the talk. Bring everything in action. I have this concept for my classes. Always said that marketing in action, management in action, strategy in action, or anything. When it is not comes to the play for the activity, it doesn't have any sense. Therefore, what is the golden triangle for that one? UPI. What is the UPI? University projects, public involvement, and Industry 4.5 deployment. This is the practical model, the combination of the theoretical point of view, subjective forms, and the objective forms with the activities in the real world as the public, supported by the incoming technologies, software, hardware, brainware, the other golden triangle. In all the organizations, you can find these three parties and this golden triangle, software, hardware, and the brainware. Also for this one, we will support it by the university projects. And after that, going through the implementation of that one as the public environment. And by using the very nice and very practical form through the Industry 4.0. We have the brainware as the universities, we have the software as the industry, and also we have the hardware regarding to the applications that we have it, or anything. It makes no difference that you can pay around of that, but these are as the main points and the main parties. How about the example for the university projects? We have already done in Sankari University in Malaysia, and that project was nominated the only project and the case study, because also I'm engaging about the case studies. Therefore, this project, the plastic surgeons, by the BBA levels, they are the only nominators from the Malaysia for the World Championship in South Korea. And they are nominated as the best brilliant idea. What is that? Just only a simple group of the students, they are proposing the way that how we can save our planet through the plastics using mobile apps, using the SDG goals to meet the SDG goals. It's just only one example. We had a lot, but I don't want to just only disturb. How many university projects that you have it in your university? I do sure that you have a lot. Therefore, please, just document it and bring it as the record and to be benchmarked for the others as well. Therefore, all the universities with some kind of the projects, I mentioned that universities projects, not only for the thought, not only for the research. Research is the base, definitely. I'm an academician, I know that. I should support that. I will support. But research is not enough. We should bring it into the action. We should change it from only subjective form to the practical. And this is one of the examples of the practical form. When we talk about the public involvement, it considers as the two main categories, as the general public and the community involvements. It's quite obvious nowadays, general public and the community involvement, these are as the two major parties that we can, of course we can improve it. Of course we can make it the other parties as well. These are as the two major parties. I just only want to give the idea for that one. Why we say that as the public involvement? We cannot proceed if the society do not accept and deploy. We call it as the adoption, right? For the adoption, we need the support for the communities. How many communities that you know? How many communities that you are engaged? How many communities that you are participated? And you know the role of the communities, the celebrities, all of these things. The general opinion, the public opinion, the acceptance of them. No need for any push. Leave it to all. It will be goes through that one. The last and not the least is the industry point of view. Everybody knows about the industry 4.0. I'm all right. You know the trend. You know the generation for the industry. It started from 80s, blah, blah, blah. And we have the second round, we have the third round, and we have the fourth round. We have the first era, second era, third, and the fourth era. Most of the countries that they are dealing with the fourth one. And you know what is that? Everybody talk about the industry 4.0. The previous university that I work with them, they are as the pioneer for the industry 4.0 in Malaysia, Malaysian University of Science and Technology. And you know, all of us, we cannot get rid of the industry 4.0. About all the activities comes from the computer to become as the cloud. Even for ourselves, right now we are recording our meeting in the cloud. Everybody goes through the cybernetics, data mining, big data, augmented reality. All of these things, they are very quite normal. Maybe 10 years before is not so much popular, but nowadays we are engaged about that. But it is not the end of the story. That was the reason I mentioned that. How about the industry 4.5? What do you think? What is the next step after industry 4.0? I didn't say that industry 4. I didn't say that the industry 5.0. No, I didn't call that. I called it and I made it as the 4.5 because it's totally related to the previous one. It's some kind of the division of that. Any idea of that one? Later on, we will proceed for that. Now, I just only share with you. Then you can share your ideas as well. For the industry 4.5, we call it as the personalized applications. How many of you has the smartphone? Very silly question. I'm all right. All of us, we have to follow the technology, and everybody following about the mobile gadgets. Even some of you already joined with this session with your mobile. I'm all right. In this case, future belongs to those companies and future belongs to those people that can create the personalized and user-friendly applications. The world is the competition between the applications right now. As much as the applications are much more easy, user-friendly, they succeed for the business, they succeed for the market share, they succeed for the profit. No way. Therefore, world belongs to them. In this case, as the combination of the university projects supported by the theory, supported by the research, going through the industry 4.5 related to the activities of the implementations using the technologies. Everything goes through the online, everything goes through the big data, everything goes through the gadgets. And without the, also for this meeting, how many platforms that we can use? For this semester, I run 7 different platforms for the 7 different universities. Each of them use one platform. No way. But you selected Google Meet, as you can see that. Why you didn't use Skype? Why you didn't use Zoom? Why you didn't use MS Teams? Why you didn't use BB Collaborate? Should I name more? You see that? You select the Google Meet. Even for one of the universities, I just only use that one as well. And I run the classes through that platform. Why? You select that one. Maybe more user-friendly, more easy to access. Everybody could be invited. Even you don't have the account, there is no any problem. You have a lot of options, simple to do. This is the application. This is the platform. And we suggest this platform for the other places. We publicize. We do it as the public to do and just only implement for that one. Therefore, this is as the UPI. You want to change it and make it as the UIP is all right, no problem. It makes no difference. But the main 3 concepts will lead us for implementation of the sustainable development goals. That's all. I try my best to finish as soon as possible. Less than 15 minutes, I try to just only finish. If you have any question, I will be pleased. You have this opportunity to contact me, email me. And again, you can see that even for myself, I create my logo as the Hossein Nezakati Alizadeh, HNA. This is my logo, and this is my approach related to that one and the hypothesis that I have it. Okay, I stop my sharing and go back to the meeting. Leave for the coordinator for the session. If you have any question or anything in the chat box or anything, please let me know. I will be pleased that we can proceed for that one and we can have this communication together. Please feel free and do not be shy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the informative, motivational, and brainstorming speech on the golden triangle of sustainable development.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Saranya, any questions from chat box?
I know that it's a little bit as a challenging form, but it's the way that we can think. And one of the practice that we can have, very simple. You can create your golden triangles by yourself. How many golden triangles that you can make?
Yes, sir.
Very simple. You will see that when you think about that, these are your patterns. These are the things that you memorize and you share with the others. These are as the points that you can. As I told you, the number, as I mentioned you, is almost about 2 or 3 years before. I didn't have time to add. Due to that time, more than 1,400 golden triangles already created. If you just only have a time for 1 hour, you can make it almost about more than 100. I do sure that. You can try, and you will see that. How much it will be helpful for you. Okay?
Sure, sir. We understood very well about the triangle concepts, UPI, user-friendly applications, and all, sir. Very nice session,
Thank
sir.
you.
Nice presentation, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Saranya,
Yes, ma'am.
you please proceed.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to invite Jayalakshmi to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, all. I am Ajay Lakshmi from 4th year BMI. As all good things come to an end in a life, so is the seminar. On behalf of Dr. MJ Educational Research Institute, Department of Tribally, I take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contribute to this seminar on the Golden Triangle of Sustainable Development Model, organized by our department. At this outset, I want to thank our today's speaker and resource person, Dr. Hossein Nezakati, sir. We are really enlightened to your knowledge and presence. We are thankful to our Honorable President, John Register, and Vice Chancellor, ma'am, for their motivation. I'd like to thank our Department of HOD of a department, Dr. E. Sheeba, ma'am, Deputy HOD, Dr. A. Nalini, ma'am, and inviting professors, Rengammal, Sankari, ma'am, Rama, ma'am, and Jayarajan, for their marvelous support. As a special thanks to our organizing team, teaching and non-teaching staff for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to our students for our active participation. With these warm words and a kind message, we are moved to the end of today's seminar. Our difficult roads create a beautiful destination. Atla, thank you for a marvelous opportunity to me propose a vote of thanks. At last, I want to make a point. A feedback form link has been posted in the chat box. Kindly, all the participations fill the form. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And also, I have the best wishes for you, for your future, for all the academic and industry activities. And hopefully, we can have the meeting and the sessions live and face-to-face, even in India. I was invited for the India for the next conference, just only 2 weeks later, but already canceled. I canceled and I refused to go, and then it changed to the online as well. But if it's not, therefore maybe I just only go over there in India, or you can join over here. I will be pleased to meet all of you. You're most welcome. Thank you. Thank you again. Have a great time.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Goodbye.
you, sir.
Thank you.